welcome back to Marta from Sparta. It's the beginning of October only, but I think it's time to start planning gifts for your friends and family, especially if you have a lot of friends and you have big family and you would like to make your own DIY gifts for them. So today it will be part one of very simple idea for the gifts for your girlfriend's mom, sister, and I will make three different things, and I'm gonna start with gifting myself. I love chickens. I have a lot of chickens myself, so I'm using the fabric which is very close to my passion, which is flowers, chickens, and garden. So if you have a lot of friends or sisters or big family or a lot of females in your circle, that's a perfect DIY project, and it's gonna be unique, it's going to be gorgeous, and I think it's easy and fast to make if you're gonna sit and try to make it at one time. So again, I am choosing the fabric which is kind of related to what I love, and I suggest to do it, since it's very tiny project, I suggest to actually look up for the fabric which would be actually related to something which your friends, family, or whoever you're planning to gift it to. So we're gonna be making one of those scrunchies. We're gonna make lavender eye pillow, which you can put in the microwave for like relax time, and sleeping mask, and everything will be in the very cute carry bag. I finished cutting out patterns, and now I'm just gonna trace everything on my fabric, and I think I'm gonna add a little bit of lining, especially if I'm gonna use rice and lavender. I just want to make sure that it's gonna stay where it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna iron it, little bit of lining on it after I'm gonna cut all the patterns. And I decided to make a tie for the scrunchie as well, so we can see and we can compare what we actually gonna like and what we're gonna put in this tiny bag. And I bought just a little bit of fabric, so there is not really much room for error because I just supposed to test this idea, so hopefully everything works as I was predicted to. So as I mentioned before, in order to make a pouch, I just grabbed one of the Zara bags, which I thought it's gonna actually size-wise work for everything I'm planning to put inside. And I just traced a square and added little bit room for seam allowance. And that's basically it. I think you can take like also larger piece of paper, like a letter size paper, and that's also very close to the size to what we need. So you don't need a pattern for that. You just grab the paper of printer page and you can trace it, and it's gonna be slightly smaller, but I think also this one will work for everything which we are planning to put inside. You just have to add like a 1/2 of the inch seam allowance, and on top for the tiny rope which we are planning to put in there. So I just want to say amount of layers of the lining will vary from how thick or sheer your fabric is, because obviously if you're making a sleeping mask, you want it to block the light, right? So my fabric is very thin. I'm gonna need at least 4 layers in order to block the light. You can also fill this out with a lavender and rice as well, and before you're gonna put it on your eyes, you can put it in a microwave for a few minutes and it's gonna work as a warm compress. But this is up to you if you're making a sleeping mask or or more like mask which you're gonna just put on your eyes for a few minutes to relax. I decided to make only sleeping mask and not fill it with a lavender, so you can fully customize your set. You can fill the sleeping mask and treat it also as a compress, and also have a lavender pillow for your headaches, for your neck, which also goes in a microwave. Or you can make a set with a lavender pillow and just a sleeping mask, right? But I think this decision you could make based on the fact where and how you're gonna use those things, and also the friend you are gifting to. So if you, for example, making heating eye mask, I don't think it makes sense to make a lavender pillow in the set. Or maybe you can have a heated eye mask and also heated pillow, which you can put on different parts of your body at the same time, right? So this is up to you. Just please remember that if you're making only sleeping mask, you need to put multiple layers of fabric. So I sew together our bag, which is pretty simple. You just stitch everything on 3 sides and run once around. I left the tiny opening when I'm gonna be able to put safety pin with a string of my choice, and then I'm gonna iron it so it looks nice and neat. And this part of the project was the simplest and the fastest and is done. I'm not gonna finish it with putting the string in yet because I want to iron it first. And now I just also finished the part of my eye mask, the back part. So I fold it half, I sew it all together. Now I'm just gonna grab a safety pin and run through the tunnel to do it inside out. I'm just grabbing on one side, and then I'm gonna push the pin in and keep going through the tunnel, pushing the extra of the fabric over, just like that. Until I'm gonna reach the end. And that will be our tunnel for elastic band, which we're gonna put in right before we're gonna attach it into the face mask. And we have to keep pushing the excess of fabric into the tunnel until we're going to be able completely flip it. And now it's the part when we actually flipping inside out. I scrunched up way too much fabric here. There we go. There you go. And now we have nicely finished tunnel. We can unpin it. I'm gonna iron it nicely, and this tunnel has way more fabric that we actually need. So you just have to do like a basic measurement. How much elastic do you want? So I'm gonna do it from my one ear to the other and kind of like stretch the elastic. And for this tunnel, I'm gonna need only this much elastic. So what basically needs to happen, I'm getting this bobby pin. I don't even think that I need to iron this tunnel because actually it's gonna be so like roach kind of look. And I'm gonna go through this tunnel again. The difference is you're gonna need to secure it on the both sides because we're gonna have to attach it to our face mask before we're gonna sew the face mask together. So you might need actually a second bobby pin. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna secure one end so I'm not gonna lose it like that, and push the rest of the elastic band until I'm gonna reach the other end of the tunnel. Okay, so basically once you're done, you're getting something like that. And before we're gonna actually attach it to our face mask, I like to just stitch both sides of my elastic to the very ends of the fabric. So when I'm gonna try to put all pieces together, I'm not gonna need these bobby pins which are gonna be in my way. And also I'm gonna make sure that it's secured and stay where it's supposed to stay. And even if I will attach it to the mask, I think it's gonna be more steady and so as I said before, I just actually secured the elastic band inside with 1 or 2 stitches, which I did by my hand. And now I will attach this into the middle of my mask, and then the top layer of the mask I'm gonna sew it together with leaving decent opening on top so I can flip everything over. So how's your layer supposed to look like? The mask right side in, then the scrunchie, and then the second layer. So your scrunchie is going to end up being inside, and that's how you have to stitch it, with leaving opening at, I like to do it on top because there is no curves and I have straight opening which I can stitch it later on. So that's how you have to stitch it. And the opening later also gonna serve for you to put a rice and lavender if you choose to do this type of mask. mentioned in a clip before, if you are making a face mask which is not gonna have neither rice or lavender, you should double up the amount of layers, so you're not gonna have light coming through your fabric. I decided to apply interfacing instead of more layers. If you do not have interfacing, just cut 3 layers instead of 2 as I did. I also applied interfacing on my lavender eye pillow, and now I'm just gonna go back to sewing. I'm gonna put the pieces together. I'm gonna leave a little bit opening on top of my mask so I can flip it and then sew it back together. And I'm gonna do the same thing with the bag, but we're gonna get to it in a minute. I just finished stitching the eye mask, and as you see, I have the sandwich of 2 layers, and my scrunchie is sitting inside. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna flip the whole mask inside out, just like that. The magic happens after, right? And voila! And we have this opening over here, which we're gonna either have to hand stitch, or you can run it through your sewing machine after you iron the whole piece. And that would be our eye mask. I still have to put the curves, and I think I'm gonna run like 1 pretty stitch. My lavender eye pillow is also stitched up. So I stitched I folded half, so I didn't stitch here, but I did the same thing as I did with the face mask. I left the opening. So I'm gonna push, but before I'm gonna push through, I just wanna tell you something. Cut the corners, just like that. Because when you're gonna flip it, you're gonna have sharper corners at the end, and you're actually getting rid of excess of this fabric. So before you're gonna fill it with rice and lavender, we're just gonna flip it through this tiny opening, which gonna also be useful to fill it later with lavender. And after you flip it, basically it looks like that. And I know you are not able to reach the corners, so I take a long scissors, stick it, and just push this corner. See, I cut the excess, and now I have beautiful sharp corners, and I'm using my scissors to push them out like this. Here we go. And we have this opening now. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna mix some rice. I'm gonna steal my husband's best rice and mix it with the lavender and fill out the pouch. And once I do that, I'm gonna stitch it again all the way around. And I'm not gonna put like a ton of it. I don't want this to be bulky. I still want to be fairly flat. And as I mentioned before, I'm going to the kitchen to steal my husband's best rice. And based on the size of it, I think I'm going to have like 1 cup of rice. Because again, I don't want to be overfilled. And I'm gonna put it into the bowl. Yeah, I think that's going to be fairly decent amount of rice. And then I'm gonna grab the lavender, which I purchased on Amazon. And God, it smells amazing. Put the decent amount of it in my rice, and I'm gonna gently mix it. And after I do that, I'm gonna put it through this opening into my pouch. check how it feels in a mid-time so you're not gonna overfill it. And yeah, it's still pretty empty. So I'm going to keep going. And I think my ratio for this size of the eye pillow is right on point, because 1 cup of rice with 1 cup of lavender. Just finished filling up my eye mask, eye pillow with a lavender and a rice. So now I'm gonna go back and stitch it together. And as I said, in my case, if you're gonna use the same size I did, you will need 1 cup of rice and 1 cup of dry lavender, which you can get on Amazon. I cannot right now flip it and make it flat because I think I will spill it, but you don't want to overfill it. You just want to have like a nice cushy look, but you don't want to be like super full, because remember, it has to have some room, if it's too full, to actually go on your eyes and you know, create a shape. And again, I can't show you and demonstrate you right now because I still have this open, so I'm gonna stitch it back and show you how. So I basically did the same thing I did with the other items. I sew whole piece together, left a little bit opening, I flip it inside out, and now I'm gonna close it. All right, so sewing part is over. All pieces are ready. This would be my cute sleeping mask. And as I told you before, I'm using it as a sleeping mask. I'm not putting any seeds, rice and lavender in it. It will be purely sleeping mask. And my scrunchie. So this is just one part of the scrunchie. That's the second part of my scrunchie. That's gonna be a hair tie. And obviously, oh my goodness, it smells amazing. The eye or neck or a headache, that's the pillow which should help you to relax. And if you are in pain or you just want to rest, put it in the microwave for a few minutes and just lay it. And of course, last but not least, the whole idea to give these items to anyone who you're planning to make them for is this cute pouch. So what I'm gonna do, I already left a tiny opening for the string, and I will steal the string from this bag and use a bobby pin and run it through. And all these items gonna go right in there, and that's how I will deliver these gifts to the people which I am planning to make the same sets for. So now it's assembly time, which means I'm gonna show you what else we need to do to put all these pieces together and how I imagine to actually deliver this cute set to anyone. So let's start with the easiest one. This is the hair tie, and I chose the tie which actually I think it matches the design as far as the colors go, and you can buy them in CVS, Walgreens, Amazon in rainbow colors. They come in an all set, so if you're planning to make a lot of them, get yourself a set. So basically you just going through the opening and you're gonna tie it just like that, and that would be our number one, and that's hair tie. Super tiny, very cute with these tiny details, and you can take it off anytime you want to and put it on another tie. Exactly same idea applies to our scrunchie. You can either gift a scrunchie just like that, or if you're gonna make it even cuter, we made this bigger hair tie, which we're doing exactly same thing we did for our hair tie. With this one is just bigger, so it matches our scrunchie, and it just goes with this better because first of all it's bigger, and you can make it like this, or you can give the scrunchie without the tie. But this is something cute. Again, something extra. I will demonstrate a little bit later how we're gonna do that. And last but not least, and I think this is self-explanatory, you get a bobby pin, string, and you just pull the string through this tunnel we made. Since my pouch is ready, we are ready for the last and I guess the most fun step of this whole project. Let's load our goodies in there. Let's start with a pillow for your headaches, for your eyes, for your neck, which goes in the microwave for a few seconds. And I can't get over it how amazing it smells. Here we go. We're gonna put the eye mask and big scrunchie and the hair tie. And I think this is very cute, custom made stocking stuffer or even gift for Christmas. This one is for me because obviously this is test piece. I'm gonna keep it, and it's printed with chickens, which I love. So, and everything gonna smell amazing because this lavender scent gonna go through this whole pouch and all fun stuff which are in there. The only thing which I'm planning to research, because I'm not sure about that, if I should keep this lavender pillow, for example, in the Ziploc, so it always gonna smell fresh and amazing. So that part, you do your own research. I'm gonna do mine because I am not sure. I never used those type of things before. So maybe if you're making a lot of these gift bags ahead of time, it's a good idea to keep every eye pillow or item which you're planning to fill out with a rice and lavender in the Ziploc, and take the Ziploc, take it out of the Ziploc whenever you're ready to gift it, because I'm not sure if the smell will eventually so that would be the only one thing which maybe you should consider, and I will consider myself because I'm planning to make few of those for my girlfriends and a family. So maybe until I'm gonna be ready to deliver it as a gift, I will keep the lavender pillow in the Ziploc, so it will keep the scent and the scent won't fade. I'm not sure about that, but again, better safe than sorry, because it was a lot of work to make it, and I think it's worth it, and you should try it. And I have idea for set of another few really fun stocking stuffers for your friends, which gonna come in part two. But I'm really proud of this one, and I will purchase the fabric which is related more to what my friends like, because this one was for me. So I hope you like this episode and you like this idea as a fun and custom, a very special gift. I surely would enjoy something like that if someone would gift it to me. But you know your friends better, you know what they like. But I think everyone loves a little bit of me time and relaxation, and sleeping mask and cute hair tie and cute scrunchie and lavender pillow is always useful, right? So as we speak, I put mine in the Ziploc until I am ready to use it back in my cute pouch, and let's start working on the idea number 2 for the Christmas gifts. And hey, if you have expensive taste like me and you want to keep your bank account happy as well, this is the right place for you. Thank you for watching. I will see you next week.